Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Let me set this up real quick. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Like the channel. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Yeah, well, I've deleted my Facebook. I've deleted my well, X threw me out because they don't like arguing with me. Like as much as Elon Musk talks about free speech, they banned me from X because, well, I post things they don't like, but I don't get a whole lot of attention, let's face it. But when I go onto like Elon Musk page and I engage him or I engage some of the followers, I win my arguments all the time. And so they just end up banning me. They say things that are false and I'll say no, well, that's not true, here's the truth, and then I'll back it up with some sources, and then 10 minutes later I'm gone. The same thing happened on TikTok. It wasn't just like that. I'm posting, the side heel and showing how it's, Elon Musk likes Adolf Hitler, and how Trump's father um, went to KKK rally and stuff like that. And people don't know. They say, "Oh, really? Oh, really? I didn't know that." Next thing you know, banned. I'm gone. Because I'm winning in these arguments, and they're saying, oh, no, no, that's not true, and I go, well, actually it is true, and here, really, really, I didn't know that. People telling me, really, I didn't know that, and I was actually able to convince and win a lot of arguments. Next thing you know, I'm banned, and it's not like because of stuff I'm posting, it's because they don't like a skilled debater. They don't want like a skilled debater in the comment section. You know what I mean? So it's easier for them after they are unable to like win in a debate with me. They just get rid of me because I'm usually able to discount it within 30 seconds. Someone will say something that I don't believe to be true, and it might be disarming. The Russians and the Musk bots, they're really good at disarming you and saying, Obama started Doge. It puts you on guard for a second, and you got to like look it up. And these people are deceitful. It just basically took over the office space. It's not Trump's Obama started digital services to improve online presence, and Trump changed digital services to Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. They have two completely different functions. One is to go around firing everybody and pretend you're a great businessman, and the other one was to improve the online presence. Obama's workers were vetted by Congress. Um, they weren't 22-year-old hackers named Big Balls that we don't know anything about. You know what I mean? Posting like Nazi and hateful stuff online. So anyway, I didn't want this Zelda to be about politics. So I generally don't, you know, not that I want to be complicit, but you know, I, this could be like an escape from everything, and maybe a place we can all come together. Whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, whether you're a MAGA or a progressive, we can all watch Zelda together. America definitely needs four parties. I mean, it's divided in how it's divided. For example, I'm a Democrat and I tend to like I want to support Chuck Schumer. I want to support Hakeem Jeffries. I don't necessarily whether I agree with them or not, it's irrelevant. I want to support the leader, the person who is the leader. Other people, they're like progressive, they're independent. They're not Democrat. They just non-MAGA. They don't like Trump. They don't like people like Liz Cheney and George Conway, former Republicans who now they just don't like Trump. So they're not really Democrats, though, and they're not really, you know what I'm saying? Because the Democrats, we can support Chuck Schumer, we could support Hakeem Jeffries, not sit here and call Chuck Schumer a coward, call him geriatric. This is fascist language. They're using fascist language within their own party. And this is why I say Vladimir Putin is winning. Like, it's easy to see Vladimir Putin winning because the Democrats using fascist language. He's got to go. He's old, spineless. You know, that's like evil to me. And in my opinion, you can be an old grandmother and speak in a little meek voice just because he doesn't, you know, yell and scream. And listen, Chuck Schumer, is he my favorite leader? Maybe he isn't, but he's the guy that got himself into the leadership position. And until we uh, I actually would prefer to see AOC or Bernie, but until they are elected into the spot, this is why I think the government really needs a multi-party system because the Liz Cheney, Ronald Reagan Republicans are separated from the MAGA, hard right Republicans. The Democrats are separated, the progressives and the Democrats are divided. So you need four parties, 25% each. And then you can have the moderate Republicans and you know the people that want to meet in the middle and the people that are out on the far right, and they all everyone gets a vote. So but what you don't want to do is get rid of anyone. Like a big problem, and this is a difficult subject to broach, but like a big problem when Mussolini, when they got rid of the fascists, and like I hate to say this, but you don't want to get rid of them altogether because then you're the fascist, right? You say, oh, because listen, Donald Trump and the white nationalists, they've got some valid points. It's just like any other culture. Like you see a culture that has, you know, any other culture around the world, you have to respect a different culture. You might not, you know, the white nationalists, maybe their culture is not respecting other cultures. Maybe part of the white nationalist culture is we don't respect Jews' culture. We don't respect, but that doesn't mean that we all have to join them and say, well, fuck you, we don't disrespect you, because then we're just like them. So what I'm saying is, say that Trump and Musk get overthrown and the fascists get overthrown and the Republicans take their party back, the Liz Cheney Republicans. You don't want to get rid of them. They're here. They're part, whether we like them or not. They are here. They're part of our heritage. They're part of our, uh, and maybe they have a valid point. Do the white nationalists, the racists, do they have a valid point that they are the unrecognized ones, that they've been the ones that are discriminated against us? Because I never understood what reverse racism meant. But uh, when they say we are the ones discriminated against, how dare you call me a racist? You're a racist for calling me a racist. Um, uh, I never understood that. Do they have any valid point? Are they the unrecognized ones? Have we throughout our history, like when a white person does something, we don't say, "Hey, George Washington, the great white leader." You know what I mean? We don't say like Spielberg. I know he was Jewish, but we don't say the white Spielberg made a great movie. But when Spike Lee does something, we say, "Oh, the minority." You know what I mean? We give credit because they're in the minority. I get it, okay? I'm just trying to explain how they think, okay? This is not how I think. I believe in equality and civil rights, okay? But they feel like they've been discriminated against all these thousands of years. So do they have a valid point? All I'm saying is if we're going to have a multi-party system, everyone comes to the table. It's not getting rid of the fascists altogether. They get 25% seat. It's not getting rid of the progressives, the left-wing lunatics altogether. They get 25%. The Democrats and Republicans that are more moderate can meet, you know, they also get the seat at the table. And maybe Republicans and Democrats have been a little high on the hog, taking kickbacks and bouncing the ball back and forth between each other too long. And so the far right has taken over. The far left is also pissed. But everyone should have a seat at the table. And listen, the two-party system is bullying to begin with, and the world knows that it's a bullying. That's why Norway has 10 parties. And even Germany has like 5 parties. The AfD got 20%, so you have to have like 40% to have a seat at the table, but or 25%. They didn't quite get their 25%. But in America, I think we need to split up into 4 parties. You'll have the Progressive Party, the Bernie Sanders, the AOCs, who I like and I agree with a lot, uh, the Chuck Schumers, the Hakeem Jeffries, and then you'll have the Liz Cheneys, the George Conways, and then you'll have the Trumps and you know the Marjorie Taylor Greens. They get a seat at the table. We're not. We have to get rid of them. No, just like they don't. They don't get rid of us. We don't get rid of them. And that whole concept of be done with them. They're too no. Let him. He gets a. Let him speak. Let's hear the content of this words. It's like suddenly you're expecting everyone to be like Hulk Hogan, like all the leaders need to beat their chest like Hulk Hogan. No, Rosa Parks changed the laws without saying a word. I don't need my leaders to be like Hulk Hogan and beat their chest. We need to start listening to the content of people's words again. And that's what was upsetting me about Hakeem Jeffries, because I was like, well, people are attacking Hakeem and they've warmed up to him a little bit now, but uh, particularly with Chuck Schumer, public enemy #1. But if you listen to the content of Hakeem Jeffries' words, he's got good words. He's right. He said the 2025 tax plan is the biggest tax scam in American history, stealing from USAID and given to Elon Musk, trying to cut Medicare grandma's medicine and give it to Elon Musk. It's the biggest scam in history. We really should be raising the wealthy taxes 1 to 3% and distributing it to the poor people, like Bernie Sanders has said, and AOC is now saying. You know, so it's ripping off USA because Elon Musk he grew up in South Africa and he has some beef with USAID, some personal beef with them. You know, I grew up right here in America, motherfucker. Anyway, I don't like to see the party so divided, and a lot of it's not Democrats, it's independents, it's leftists, it's non-MAGA. And listen, if you want to be anti-Trump and you want to line up with the Democratic Party, then support the leader whether you agree with him or not, because uh, Chuck Schumer was from a family of Holocaust survivors, and he's not bending the knee. He's allowed to sell a book, you know. But there's plenty of people that you can support. You can support Larson. You can support AOC. You don't need to attack other party members. Support who you like without tearing the other guys down. And this whole time, it seems like they hate Chuck Schumer worse than they hate Elon Musk, worse than they hate Donald Trump. And the more astonishing thing is they forgot about Vladimir Putin. Nobody's If they hated Vladimir Putin as much as they hated Chuck Schumer, you know, and I think Putin is the one he plants the here's the 10 Democrats you have to hate. Here are the 10 traitors, and then celebrities are buying it and spreading it, and it's easy for them. All Russia has to do is release a few headlines here. Joe bent the knee. Joe visited Trump. This stuff makes me sick. I don't even want to talk about it. Joe didn't bend the knee. It's his job to interview candidates. I was a little shocked when I read, oh, Joe bent the knee. Like, I love Joe. I watch every day. And then I really thought about it it almost tricked me. But then I thought about it for a second. Well, wait a minute. Let me read it. And then there was nothing to it. Everything was like Facebook, TikTok. There was no accredited journalist reporting on it. And then when I did find anything, it said they went to have a talk. It was 90 minutes. And then I went and watched the show, and they were like calling Trump a bigot, a fascist, saying Trump must be stopped. And this is, they didn't bend the knee at all. It was just a little Russian headline, but you have people echoing it and echoing it and echoing it and fighting you. And the thing that bothers me, they never watched Morning Joe in the first place. They didn't watch before, they didn't watch after, but they'll go around championing the headline that they read. Champion, he bent the knee, traitor bent the knee. Never watched the show before, never watched the show after. When you tell them, hey, that's a fake Russian headline, get mad at me. And now the same thing with Chuck Schumer. Like, okay, you have a right to be angry. Maybe there's a valid point, but what happens is, and this is my fear, and maybe I'm stepping into a blender here, but does Putin just keep it spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning? And is Chuck right? A government shutdown would have been disastrous. They could have cut off Social Security benefits, during a government shutdown. But no one gives a fuck if my Social Security benefits. They just want shut down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. Never mind that the welfare recipients might not get food if you shut it down, or the federal Social Security might stop working that you claim to want to protect if you shut it down. Never mind the fact that then they could circumvent Congress and not have the power of the courts anymore if you shut it down. Like Chuck actually has a valid point. Shutting it down is not good. They're trying to shut it down. And yeah, it's a shitty, fucking horrible bill, but shutting it down happens to be even worse. And no one's even really looking at it. It's a lose-lose situation, and attacking Chuck in a lose-lose situation is not good. And the whole thing is, while this is going on, uh, Russia canceled the ceasefire deal. They kicked Witkoff out in the middle of the night in a rainstorm. Nobody's talking about this. Where are the Witkoff memes of Witkoff being kicked out in a rainstorm at 3 in the morning? Nowhere. It's all Chuck Schumer. Where's the uh, apparently um, it was determined that Trump could take over Greenland with 70 naval boats, and it would only take 70 ships to take over Greenland. It's been looked in. Nobody's talking about that. It's all Schumer, Schumer, Schumer. Nobody, uh, even the car salesman thing. Hardly anyone's talking about that. Trump goes sings the YMCA village people at the Department of Justice. Nobody's talking about that. And they're all talking Chuck, 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 Chuck. And like I'm posting about Trump just attacked Yemen, killed 19 people over the weekend. Right? Chuck Schumer. It reminds me of the but Hillary thing. Meanwhile, Trump raped women, hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, and go, but Hillary's emails. Like there's no content about the email. Just an email at her house. We don't know. It's just how easily they're so distracted. They were booing Bernie Sanders because he said, "I think we all need to vote for Hillary. Y'all are being manipulated by Russia. Russia's spinning this against Hillary, and you need to vote for Hillary. I know y'all like me, but now I need y'all to vote for Hillary." Booing Bernie to this day. Uh, and so it's so easy for Russia to keep the party apart. And for some reason, the Democrats are divided. I mean, the Republicans are also divided. You have Liz Cheney, who's no longer in the MAGA at all, and Mitt Romney's completely alienated. So they're not totally unified, but they managed to stop the steal, stop the steal, stop the steal. They all stop the steal. All of them stop the steal, stop. They rally behind their leader. And with the Democrats, it's well, I don't like him. 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 How come the Democrats aren't saying stop the tax scam, stop the tax scam, stop the tax scam? How come they're not saying protect Greenland, protect Greenland, protect Greenland, protect Greenland? Instead, they're like, I don't like Chuck. I don't like Hakeem. Why aren't they saying protect Greenland, protect Greenland, protect Greenland, protect Greenland? No tax scam, no tax scam. The lack of unity, and they don't. The problem I have is it's not okay. We'll give it a few days. They'll come around. No, it'll be like 10 years from now. But Chuck Schumer.